Gangs, drugs, violence. This is a recipe for a great TV show, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my top favorite gang films or shows. Alright, so starting off with Narcos. Narcos obviously follows the life of Pablo Escobar and his run at the drug game. He started off selling cocaine, and this TV series basically, as I said earlier, follows the life of Pablo Escobar, his rise and his fall, and it's probably one of my favorite shows that highlight drugs and gangs. And actually, prior to this show, I never knew Pablo Escobar was, and after this show, it actually got me interested in sort of like how drugs and stuff like that work. So, Narcos, for those who haven't watched it. Next up, we've got Top Boy. Alright, Top Boy is based in the UK. It basically follows these two people who are the main characters, trying to obviously become like the leader of like selling drugs and stuff. It follows gang violence in the UK. It's basically a gang / drug show based in the UK, and a lot of people think the UK is like a very peaceful place. I live in the UK, and I guarantee you, and I can tell you for certain that it isn't. We do have violence, and this show does highlight some of that violence that occurs in like some of the poorer areas of London, and how some people are trying to make a way out. Alright, so next up we got Ozark. Ozark is it's another drug show that I recommend. Basically it follows the Marty Byrde, the guy in the screen, as you can see. He's basically working for a cartel, trying to clean up their money, so he's like an accountant for them, and basically he's just going through all the motions of working through a cartel. What I like about this show, right, is that in most drugs or gang shows, usually the family is unaware of what one person is doing, but in this show, which is kind of different, the whole family is aware of what they're doing, and they work together, which is what I kind of like. They're not like judgmental. They're not like, oh, my dad's a drug dealer and I hate him, and they start to sabotage his work. No, they all work together in order to achieve a common goal, and that's why I like this show. I like the characters. I believe that if you watch the show, you will like it. It's kind of different from your typical drug shows, like from Power or Breaking Bad.
Walter White. Okay, so this is one of the OG drug shows on Netflix, or OG drug TV shows that highlight drugs on TV. So basically, this show follows a professor who's not making enough money, who gets diagnosed with like a disease. He needs a way to make more money, so he basically starts selling drugs, and from selling drugs, he just gets deeper and deeper into the drug game, trying to find a way to provide for his family. Eventually his family finds out, and they get mad at him, etc. The typical rise and fall of a drug leader, basically. This show is actually very entertaining. I think it has 6 seasons, and then it's followed by another show called Better Call Saul, which I also recommend you guys to watch. Saul's a lawyer. I for Walter White. I feel like, I don't want to ruin it, but I feel like he's very a misunderstood character. He's the main character, by the way. I feel like in this show, I don't really like Jesse. I feel like he's one of them dudes who does something that's really bad, right? And then he's like sad about it, and then he tries to he's one of them dudes who takes the moral high ground, even though he's like a really bad person, right? And I don't like people like that. So anyway, I highly recommend watching this show. It's probably one of the most popular shows if you haven't watched it or not already. I recommend watching this. Alright, so Power basically just it's another typical drug show. Basically, some guy is living a double life. He sells drugs, but this guy, James St. Patrick, he's trying to get out of the drug game by opening this club. But as usual in drugs, and when you do illegal stuff, it doesn't go to plan, and he's like scrambling, and he's dealing with like people who betray him and backstab him, and also trying to hold his family together. This show is, I think, produced by 50 Cent. if you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it. It's like 6 seasons, I believe, and then there's also other storylines which they produced. I haven't watched any of the new stuff. I was just so angry about how this show ended. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not watching it no more, man. But yeah, it's basically set in New York City. You know, trying to sell drugs, trying to stay away from law enforcement. You know, your typical drug story. Yeah, I'll highly recommend it. As I said before, if you're into like drugs and gangs and you're looking for a new show to watch, this is a very good show to watch. It's done, acting's very good, well done. Lots of very good scenes, lots of big names in the film as well, in this TV series as well. So I recommend you watch it. Alright, thanks for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. Yeah, thank you for watching.